Good pause YouTube. Almost here. Got for you guys today something a little bit different. For those of you who don't know or who may not be aware, I did used to upload a post-narrated showdown battles a lot. Now, normally when I do upload a showdown battle, I want you guys to know for a fact that it is a very, very good battle because there are games on showdown that I don't record. Obviously, like I like the latter, like when I have some downtime, like go a few minutes to spare. So this is kind of where that came from. As the title says, this is the semifinals and the finals of a UU Room Tour tournament that took place, I want to say, maybe a week ago. I think like a day or two before like Zapdos fell. But they are two very, very good games, so I hope you guys do enjoy. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys would like me to do more of these tournament games, because I don't join the Smelgon official tournaments because I know I'm not that good, but I am decent enough to do pretty okay. I've won the last couple tournaments I've played on Showdown in the rooms, and yeah, just let me know if you guys would like to see more of these. So yeah, I guess that's really it. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to hit the like button down below. It's just a second of your time. Thank you to everybody for showing me the great support on my return. I know I already said that in a previous video, but I am I am very thankful for you guys. Thank you. Anyways, it's been a minute and a half and I'm just rambling. I apologize. So you guys may recognize my team, those of you who watch my Showdown Lives. I did do a Showdown Live with this team. It is based around Acid Armor, Calm Mind, Size Shock, Recover, Uniclus. Now, obviously, the problem for that set is Dark types, and of course, my opponent has Sharpedo. If my opponent didn't have Sharpedo, and I was able to get two Calm Minds, and Chandelure wasn't Specs, and I wasn't worried about Trick, then a Uniclus could just come in and pretty much just destroy his entire team, as long as you don't get critted, of course. Now, if you guys would like to see the Showdown Live with this team, I will leave a link to that down in the description. You guys can go check that out after this video. And yeah, see how the team works, or if you want to know more about it before the actual battles. And yeah, anyways, looking at his team, this is literally the definition of hyper offense. You have your Stealth Rock Sash lead, and then you have threat number 1, threat number 2, threat number 3, threat number 4, and then Sharpedo. But basically, going into this battle, I knew that Scarfed Hydreigon was going to be a huge help. Now, of course, I am Scarfed, as I mentioned, so if I lock myself into Draco Meteor or Dark Pulse, Slurpuff can just come in, Belly Drum, and 6-0 my team, or so you would think. But I do actually have Encore on Whimsicott, which may make him a little weary on Belly Drumming with Slurpuff easily, although hopefully he doesn't pull any nifty doubles and catches me while I do switch into Whimsicott. But Sharpedo is actually going to be hitting my team really hard, so I have to watch out for that. Although I do have Vacuum Wave on my Infernape to completely OHKO this, because literally the minimum damage is 105%, so I'm not too concerned about it, although it could potentially get a kill or two, and then I'm going to have to check it with Infernape or force him out. Chandelure pretty much gets a free kill if he knocks out my Hydreigon, so I have to watch out for that. Lucario after 2 Swords Dances could potentially sweep my team if he weakens my Cobalion enough, so that's going to be really scary to deal with. Salamence shouldn't be too big of an issue because, I mean, I have not Mens, but I have Blastoise and I have Scarf Hydreigon, and most Salamence nowadays are the specially offensive set. Scarf could be a little bit of a nuisance, but shouldn't be too big of a problem. And then Mamoswine, I literally get 6-0 by Mamoswine if my Reuniclus gets critted, so that is going to be a bit of an issue, so I'm going to have to watch out for that. But with that being said, it's been 4 minutes. Let's get this started. So he's going to be leading off with a Mamoswine just as I expected, as I actually end up leading off with my Cobalion. Now, turn 1. This is obviously not a very good lead matchup for me, because even if I go for close combat, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe Mamoswine actually eats 1 close combat, even if he couldn't survive the close combat because he's a lead. I'm definitely 99.9% sure that he has a Focus Sash. So what I decided to do is actually decide to be aggressive in hopes that maybe he would think that I would switch out, predicting him to go for the Earthquake. So I'm going to go for the Iron Head, break a potential Sash, maybe get a flinch. Unfortunately, though, he does just end up going straight for the Earthquake. I do have my Shuckle Berry, as I will be able to knock him out with another Iron Head. But, I make a really, really ballsy and just probably it wasn't. I mean, it was a risky play for sure, but then again, thinking about it, there was a chance he wasn't going to stay. Okay, so I just really stumbled on my words. So basically what I was saying is that I decided to make a really risky play and actually get on my rocks, thinking that maybe he would switch out, thinking I would decide to be the aggressor and knock out Mamoswine, as I am actually able to get on my rocks on the incoming Salamence, which is really good for me, as I will be able to Volt Switch here. This was a bit of a risky play on my part, just because if he was Scarfed, he could have outsped me and knocked me out. Luckily, though, he wasn't, as I do predict him to Fire Blast when I bring in my Blastoise, as I am pretty positive I can live one Draco Meteor if he decides to stay in. Unfortunately for him, though, he is going to end up missing, as I just barely failed to knock him out, but I will be able to live the Draco. So the Draco miss really did not matter because Salamence still would have been knocked out regardless. As he brings in Chandelure here, I just decided to sack Blastoise. I think looking back at it, what I should have done was probably switch directly into Hydreigon, because still being able to keep this for fodder later would have been nice. And I mean, my Hydreigon doesn't really mind the Shadow Ball damage, because even if he wants to bring in Lucario, I can just predict E-Speed and switch into my Cobalion or my Reuniclus and then just go from there. But I just leave in my Blastoise as he knocks me out with a Shadow Ball, allowing me to get a free switch into my Hydreigon. And I was actually very, very close to going for the Fire Blast here, but ultimately I decided to Draco Meteor, knowing that he wouldn't switch into Slurpuff, as I'm able to get off a huge chunk of damage, expecting him to want to go for the close combat. I switch into my Reuniclus. However, though, he decides to go for the Swords Dance, hoping that I can live a crunch. I'm going to stay in just to knock him out, because as I said, Lucario could potentially be a huge threat at +4, and my Cobalion is already at 58%. I don't know if I am a minus defense nature or not, but he could maybe knock me out with E-Speed or just bring me into range where Mamoswine can revenge kill me. So I do unfortunately lose Reuniclus being able to set up and sweep, but I mean, that wasn't going to happen anyways as long as he had Sharpedo, which is a dark type, which 100% walls is set. And then Chandelure can trick me, and then or Shadow Ball me because he has specs, depending on if he's timid or modest, which I don't really know. I didn't find out. I could run the cog, but it's not really that crucial, as I bring in my Hydreigon. He is just going to end up going for the Shadow Balls. I'm able to eat the hit because I do resist it. Actually, no, the fact that that did 35% from a resisted hit just goes to show you how powerful spec Chandelure is. As I decided to go for the Dark Pulse, I was very, very close to going for the U-turn, but it is fine, because here he is forced to bring in the Slurpuff, because this is really his only chance of winning at this point, is hoping that I don't have Encore on my Whimsicott, or that I don't have Stun Spore to slow him down, or that if I do have Stun Spore, I miss. What I'm trying to say is that unless he belly jumps here and I somehow misclick, then there's absolutely no way he's going to be able to win this battle. So I'm going to make the just direct switch into Whimsicott, pretty much expecting him to go for the belly drum. And he says in the chat, good player alert. I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty much forced to go for the Encore, so he gets an essential free switch into the the Chandelure. As I switch out into my Hydreigon, he's gonna crit me with the Fire Blast, which does kind of suck because Hydreigon pretty much won me the battle at this point. It's fine though, because I can bring Cobalion now. Iron Head won't knock him out, close combat doesn't affect him, and I know Volt Switch won't knock him out, but at this point, as I mentioned earlier, Reuniclus is literally doing nothing for me in this match, so long as he has Sharpedo and a Chandelure. So I'm just going to sack off Reuniclus, allow me to get a free switch back into my my Cobalion, and I'm going to be able to go ahead and go for the Volt Switch. I'm not sure why, actually why didn't I? Yeah, I didn't bring in Infernape, sorry, because this set literally does not touch Chandelure if he has Flash Fire. So he's going to bring in the Slurpuff, sorry. And all I have to do is hit a Fire Blast, and I win. Because again, Vacuum Wave, 100% Oko Sharpedo. So I missed one Fire Blast. It's fine. It's fine. I can live a Play Rough. Okay, I have to hit. I hate this game. It's fine though, as I can bring Cobalion. I can go for the Iron Head. Now, unfortunately, he still has a chance to win this battle. So here it's a 50-50. Am I going to stay in, predicting him to predict me to switch into Whimsicott, predicting his Protect, and go for close combat, Oko him and win? Or is he going to stay in and go for the Protect, expecting me to stay in because a switch into Whimsicott, predicting his Protect, is too obvious? Or I can switch into Whimsicott and he just Mega Evolves and goes for Earthquake or Ice Fang, predicting my Whimsicott, which would be a really bad and risky play. In hindsight, now that I think about it, I probably should have just switched right into Whimsicott because, I mean, unless he protects here, there's like literally nothing that he can do to win. Yeah, nah, like I said, it's more of a 50-50 because, I mean, he could have predicted my switch into Whimsicott, but I am going to predict him to go for the Protect, and I'm going to go, no, I mean, I'm going to predict him to predict my switch into Whimsicott, and I'm going to go for the close combat in hopes that he didn't go for the Protect. Unfortunately, though, he does, as I'm going to be forced to switch into Whimsicott, hoping that he wouldn't go for the Ice Fang and actually go for the Earthquake. However, though, he goes for the Waterfall, and it does 33%, which means that I will be able to take another one, so I'm going to be forced to encore him into this. However, though, unless he had got a low roll with this Waterfall, which he got 36%, then I might have been able to live another hit, and if I didn't get flinched, I would have been able to knock him out with the Moonblast and then win from there. However, though, he does get a high roll, 3-hit KOs my Whimsicott, and because he is still encored into Waterfall, I don't have to worry about Earthquake. But I do have to worry about being flinched. So, it all comes down to whether or not I will be able to break through this flinch and hit the close combat, which, of course, Daniel Bryan is the GOAT. And I'm going to be able to pull out the very narrow 1-0 victory in my favor because Hacks is amazing. But yeah, that was a really, really good semifinal game. So let's go ahead and get into the finals. So, my opponent has a pretty interesting team. I don't want to say that he counter-teamed me, but my team is pretty weak to Dugtrio, and Spiritomb does literally kind of just destroy this set. However, though, I did see in the chat somebody said that this guy, Baselord Crystal, apparently gets to the finals of a lot of tournaments on here, so I'm assuming he knows what he's doing, so hopefully I don't get destroyed. But looking at his team, obviously, like I said, Dugtrio is a huge, huge problem to my team. So I'm definitely going to have to watch out for that. If this is Curselax and I lose Cobalion and my Infernape, then I could potentially get swept by it. Crocoon could actually be a huge, huge problem, but my Reuniclus beats that one-on-one. However, though, he does have the Spiritomb, so I'm going to have to find some way to deal with Spiritomb, and then Reuniclus should be able to pretty much beat his team. Again, well, Snorlax. I could probably have to weaken Snorlax a bit, but oops. Sorry. My fault. I'm not done with the team preview. On the bright side, though, Infernape can actually put in a lot of work against his team if I'm able to get up a nasty plot. I do have to get rid of the Crobat first, though, which could actually be another huge nuisance to my team because I don't really have a flying resist. So if this is offensive with Skyplate, I could probably get swept by it. So yeah, my opponent has a very, very scary team, and I don't exactly have the best team matchup against it. So hopefully I don't get destroyed. That's basically my thought process going into this match. So he's going to be leading off with the Crobat, as I'm going to be leading off with my Hydreigon. Right off the bat, I decided to go for the Draco Meteor because I was really positive that he wasn't going to switch directly into Snorlax. One, because, again, pretty positive he knows what he's doing. Two, the switch is way, way too obvious. Three, if he's Scarfed, he probably knows he can live a hit. Fourth, if I'm not Scarfed, he cannot speed me and just U-turn into his Snorlax. So there was really no loss for him to just stay in on my Hydreigon here. And I know from prior experience that a Draco Meteor doesn't Oko Crobat, so he's going to go for the U-turn, which does a really good chunk of damage. as he's going to end up bringing on the Snorlax. I'm going to switch directly into my Cobalion in hopes that he doesn't paralyze me with a Body Slam, as he makes a very nice double switch into Dugtrio. Now, of course, I can take an Earthquake. I have Shuckleberry. No, he turns out to be Choice Specs Dugtrio. I repeat that again. Choice Specs Dugtrio, which does actually kind of put in some work in this match, I'm not gonna lie. So I make a bit of a questionable play here, and instead of going for the close combat and potentially OHKOing him, I decide to get on my rocks. Now, I thought that he would be a Focus Sash for one, because I mean, Dugtrio is pretty weak. It's not going to be OHKO and Cobalion, even with Choice Band, because of my Shuckleberry. Even if it was Adamant, I'm pretty sure I would be able to live. So I decided to get on my rocks because I really saw Crobat being just such a huge nuisance for me in the future of the match. Basically, I was thinking long term in the battle. I was thinking long term because, as I said, Crobat is a huge threat to my team. And if it is offensive, which it did a really good chunk of damage to my Hydreigon, then Brave Bird is pretty much just going to pick my team apart. So I decided to get on my rocks, which means he cannot defog them away if he carried it, and now I no longer have to worry about the Crobat. However, though, I do still have to worry about this Dugtrio, which at this point I didn't know that he was Specs. I still thought that maybe he was sashed on the off chance maybe he was sashed. So he's gonna knock me out with the Earth Power, as I can bring in my Whimsicott here. He's actually gonna decide to switch out into his Crobat as I go for the Giga Drain. No, Moonblast. Sorry, what did I? I don't know why I didn't go for Giga. I'm guessing I thought he would switch. I mean, no, yeah. Why didn't I Giga Drain there? Okay, sorry. I know the play doesn't matter, but I'm wondering why I didn't go for the Giga Drain. Anyways, this is where I find out that he has Specs, because the chat just starts going crazy. So I bring in my Infernape, knowing that he's gonna pretty much be forced to switch out, and anything that he switches in is not going to be living any hit from my Infernape, except for Suicune. That's why I actually decided to go for the Nasty Plot and not directly go for Grass Knot, because if I had Grass Knotted here, I would have probably enticed him to want to switch out, allowing him to save Suicune and pretty much run shop through my team, so long as he still had a Spiritomb, which he does have. So I decided to be really aggressive here and just go for the Nasty Plot, as Grass Knot will be a straight OHKO on Suicune, which you do not see many times. As he brings in the Dugtrio, I'm going to pull the cat out of the bag, and I'm going to knock him out with the Vacuum Wave, as he's going to bring in his Sceptile. Now, he told me, or he said in chat, that he was actually a modest Sceptile, which means because I was timid and Infernape, I would have outsped him by 7 points, and I could have just knocked him out with the Fire Blast. However, though, he's going to be able to finish me off with the Dragon Pulse, as I'm able to U-turn out with my Hydreigon. At this point, he can still win the battle, because Snorlax could get really lucky against my Blastoise, because basically what I have to do with Blastoise is hope that I don't get low damage rolls consistently, hope that he doesn't paralyze me with Body Slam and then I get fully paralyzed, and hope that he gets very unlucky with Sleep Talk. So I'm gonna put this on fast, but like just watch this. Like hacks is something that I've come to not get so frustrated about now. Yes, I do get kind of upset here and there, but like back in the day, it used to really make me upset. And like just watch what happens. Basically, it's me just hoping that I don't get screwed over by bad luck, and that he doesn't get extremely lucky. As I'm about to finish him off, I get paralyzed, and then he's able to rest up to full health. As of course I can't miss Orusir because it is 100%, and he finally is able to get a Body Slam. So it comes down to whether or not he can get another Body Slam here, and then I don't get paralyzed next turn. So no Body Slam, and I don't get paralyzed, and I knock him out. I just realized I said turn, instead of turn, or I said turn, something like that. So he knocks me out. As I can just bring in a Hydreigon, I will be able to click Draco Meteor and 2-hit KO him. That is, of course, if I can hit and he doesn't crit me, because I lose. I literally have a 10% chance to lose this battle right here if I miss Draco Meteor. Thankfully, though, I'm not going to get screwed over, and I'm able to knock him out, and I'm going to win the tournament and the finals with a really close 2-0 once you really think about it, because as I said, Reuniclus is mono attacking. Like, there was nothing I could have done to Spiritomb to beat it, and I think he might have actually been able to PP stall me as well, so it would have depended on how things went there. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy these two really, well, in my opinion, really good games. Specs Dugtrio definitely earning a spot on the thumbnail. It's not very often that I put my opponent's Pokemon on the thumbnail. I actually don't think I've ever done it. So yeah, just Specs Dugtrio, that's something I definitely actually want to try out. But yeah, let me know if you guys would like to see more of these potential room tour tournaments. Again, not Smogon tournaments, because I'm not that good. I'm not as good as Joey or Jamdad or Blunder, but I am decent enough to get far in these room tours in UU, NU, and RU. But yeah, with that being said, guys, this is actually kind of longer than I expected it to be, and I do apologize. But with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.